Let me ask you a question. Is a game still fulfilling if you don't have all the answers at the end of the game? Hi, hello, and welcome to the video. Whether you're someone who loves horror, loves gaming, loves overthinking, or just a game dev looking for some tips, this is the video for you. My name is Dan Han, and this is Overthinking Media, where we overthink all things anime, gaming, cinematic, and entertaining with the intent to start discussion on subjects that may not change the world, but are fun to overthink. But today, we're looking at unknown factors in horror. So, what do I mean by unknown factors? These are the mysteries in games where the player is either never shown it, or only ever shown a figurative, or in some cases literal, glimpse at it. It's the busted open blast doors. It's the strange item you need to receive for the NPC so they'll let you progress. It's the monstrous snow here in distance. It's the inhuman bloody footprints leading away from the body. It's the carnage left behind by whatever the hell happened before you arrived. What the hell? It's the mysterious NPC who clearly knows more than they're telling you. It's the strange, mysterious symbols written all over the walls. It's the location in the distance glowing with a completely unearthly, unnatural glow. Huh. It's the half illegible notes referring to something. It's having just enough to let the player know that something is up, while also still leaving them in the dark. In some cases, literally. It's for the player to wonder, what tore open those doors? What did that NPC want that thing for? What made that noise? What made those footsteps? What left all that carnage? Was it all the same thing? Am I in danger? Am I going to have to face that thing? Is it going to come after me? Do I have to be scared of whatever that was? In some cases you get the answers. In others you don't. By the end of the game, even though you should have more information, you should never have the full picture. There should still be stuff you don't have the answers for. The Evil Within is an amazing game that you walk away from with so many questions. Mobius is obviously a very shady government organisation with clear ties to power. That much we know, but we don't actually know the extent to how much power they hold. What was the actual extent of Rubik's powers? Who was that person at the end? And did you ever actually escape? But hey, I have an entire video on the Evil Within, so go check that one out. But the king of all, the king of unanswered questions when it comes to gaming, I think we have to agree it's Scott Cawthon in FNAF. Even though over the years certain facts about the games have either been redacted or retconned or confirmed, a lot of what we know about FNAF that is fact or proven are in fact just theories. Granted, with how much work channels like Game Theory put into their videos, they may be right. However, there have also been multiple times where Matt on his channel has specifically said, I was wrong about this was not correct, it was a fun theory, but it turned out to be false. Or at the very least, they were right, but the game dev completely changed the game because of that. But that's a topic for another video. Point being, even though they're extremely well argued theories with a lot to back them up, they're still just that, theories. And a lot of the time, we never actually get a canonical, confirmed, official answer from the game dev or the team that made it. So even though the theories may be, hey, there's a 99% chance that like this is obviously the answer, unless we get that 0.01% answer from the game dev going, yep, that's correct, we don't have a definitive answer. It could be that right, that close to being right, but actually the actual answer is just very slightly different, and that tiny difference changes everything. In another video, I talk about The Mist, and how even though the story more or less confirms that Project Arrowhead was responsible for The Mist, it never specifically explains how they're responsible. It's clear Project Arrowhead had something to do with the Mist. That is undeniable. But the actual specifics of what were never specified. But I talk a lot more about that in my video on Monsters in Horror. So once again, go check out that one as well. Had to choose then to go Febreze, didn't you, Febreze? I guess you're on a timer, so kind of not really your control, your device. Moving on. Despite the fact that I just had an entire speech about how FNAF is great at doing unknown factors, sadly, when it does come to unknown factors, there are very few games I can think of that do unknown factors correctly. Or rather, there are very few games I can think of that can do unknown factors in the modern world. This is due to the fact that game data miners have already mined every piece of information about the game. Every single file, every texture, every model, every dialogue box, every map, every concept piece of art, every bit of footage, and every bit of cutscene before the game had even been out for 24 hours. Hell, in most cases, data miners have the files before the game has even been released. And that kind of sucks. Subnautica was a great example of this. When it first came out, the game was shrouded in mystery. There were unanswered questions all over the place. Granted, this was because the game didn't actually have the definitive answers yet. The developers were still making the game. It was released in early development, so the answers weren't actually there, but keep going. Once the data miners got their hands on it, there were videos and clips and images all over the internet revealing every little secret in the game, revealing every mystery, revealing all the designs, revealing all the big upcoming events in the game before they were ready. It showed the unreleased base builds. It showed the final research facility months before it was ready. It showed the Sea Emperor before it was done, before it had a texture file, before it had a voice, before it had a movement packet where it was just floating through the water as a solid like JPEG. It even showed off the escape rocket before it could be used. The final ending part of the game, the big climax of the game. And went, yeah, here it is. It can't be used yet, but cool looking, right? Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Where was I going with this? I mean, seriously, can we not just have mysteries in games anymore? That'd be a fun topic for another video, actually. Go check that one out once I make it. But yeah, seriously, can we not just have mystery anymore? I mean, I get it, in the fast-paced world we live in, everyone wants that new piece of information, they want that scoop, they want that unreleased footage, they want that, like, in-depth secret interview so they can get the views and watch time and articles and clicks on their articles. I get that. The world we live in is it's fast-paced. But I don't know. Okay, it's a topic for another day. Just please, just be mindful. Cool, yeah, you can go into the game files and see unreleased things. Hooray! They're not finished yet. Just don't spoil it for everyone. Don't go plastering it everywhere. Don't reveal the ending of the game just because you want to go, ha! Look at me, I'm important right now because I've stolen someone else's stuff and taken credit for it. Ha ha ha! Just please don't. It just spoils everyone's fun. And hell, I'll even confess, I'm a bit of a hypocrite, because even I want to know all information as soon as I can. But if it's something I really care about, I try to avoid it. Like, cool, there's a mystery in this game. www.wikigame.com. Okay, there's the answer, cool. Spoiled it for myself, I guess. Well, I got the answer, hooray. No, I'm like, cool, there's a mystery in this game. I'm keep playing to find out. Even FNAF suffers from this. With all the secret endings, the nightmare runs, the secret ways to get special levels. Like, do you remember FNAF 4? Was that the one with Glitch Trap, Springtrap, and like the ventilation and all that? Wait, is that the fourth one with the punching in the keypad, or is that the third one? No, that's one is Pizzeria, second one's the grand reopening, third one's the hospital bed, the fourth one's the amusement ventilation one, right? The one with the keypad on the wall. There was no way anyone could have found that without being like, okay, look at the texture files. Oh, look at this, there's a water keypad. Okay, cool, reveal it to the world. It's just, within the first day of FNAF being out, every ending and every secret and every reveal is already out there. However, when done right, unknown factors can drag the player into the game so effectively. Unfortunately, with wanting to be the subject of a popular theory to boost their game, instead of game makers making a game with a good mystery, they instead sometimes make a game and then take out parts that are kind of important to the story to make a good mystery. And to an extent, I don't actually mind this. If I'm playing Outlast and like game never actually revealed what the Wall Rider was, I'd be fine with that, honestly. Like, I've played the game 15 times, let's say, maybe even 20 times. I'm still not entirely sure what the Wall Rider is, and I'm fine with that. I don't want the answer, I don't need the answer. Here's an entity that's scary. Whatever it is, that's fine. It's when the game takes out crucially important information to the game that is imperative to the story that it becomes a problem. Some games will go too mysterious. They'll go too cryptic. Instead of having an air of mystery where the player is trying to figure out the mystery because there's something going on, I'm not quite sure. I gotta put the pieces together. I haven't quite got all the answers, but I'm gonna try and figure it out. The player instead just has no idea what's going on because crucial parts of the story have been removed. While making your game mysterious is fine if you want to do that. If you make it too mysterious, the player will never figure it out. Or may never figure out. Who knows, maybe they're smart, but maybe they'll put the pieces together and figure everything out. But some will just never figure it out because you made it too confusing where only you, because you made the game, understand it. You need to find this middle ground of showing just enough to entice the player, while also keeping just enough mysterious that they're not entirely sure what the answer is. So they don't have enough information to have the full picture. Otherwise, theorists will come to their own conclusions about what they believe the game is about. And maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. But if they are wrong, they'll come to a conclusion that is completely different from what you, the game dev, wanted your story to be. Completely incorrect to what the actual story behind your characters was. Completely mislabeling certain characters and telling their wrong story. Meaning that even if you do make a sequel or a second game to it, where you conclude their stories and tell them, okay, this is what I wanted for the characters, this is their story, this is what happens to them, a large majority of the fandom will just go, no, like 2 years ago, some random person on the internet said, this is what your story's about, so this is what your story's about. I mean, yeah, you're the creator and all that, you made the game, but yeah, 2 years ago, here's a really well argued theory from a random person on the internet, so that's the canon story to our game now. That is the truth. Because, yeah, that's the answer you gave us because you left it too mysterious, they gave us an answer, and that's the answer we're happy with. Sorry. So, how do you tread the line between showing just enough and leaving just enough in the darkness? Well, that really depends on the kind of game you want to make. I think the simple answer is, if it doesn't specifically need to be shown or told, keep it a secret, it's fine. It's a mystery. Cool, fantastic. But if it is specifically integral and important to the story where it is crucial that the player knows it, show it. If you're playing a game where you're in the zombie apocalypse, does the game really need to show you how the apocalypse started? Probably not. Unless it's actually crucial to you as the player's story, it's kind of unnecessary. You're in the zombie apocalypse. That's all there is. It doesn't matter how it started. All that matters is you are in a zombie apocalypse, you need to survive. Revealing how the zombie apocalypse started? Probably not that important. But revealing how the infection spreads? Yeah, that's important. That needs to be included. How it began? Doesn't matter. And by leaving it up in an air of mystery, it creates a fun theory. Shaun of the Dead, which is a movie I talked about in a different video, which go check that one out as well, is a movie that gives you 3 different possible ways for the zombie apocalypse to have begun. There's rage monkeys, there's a crashed space probe, and there's mutant crops. Of course, these are just fun little nods and Easter eggs to other series being 28 Days Later, Night of the Living Dead, and I don't actually know what the crop one is, but I'm sure it's an Easter egg that I just don't know. I was going to say The Last of Us, but that game came out in 2013 and Shaun of the Dead came out in 2004, so extremely unlikely. And also it wasn't until like 2021, 2022 that the TV adaptation kind of went, yeah, it's because of the mutation in the flower that these parasites, these cordyceps, these yeah, it is cordyceps, yeah, the cordyceps are able to thrive. So the fact that Shaun of the Dead would have copied that like 17 years before it came out is pretty impressive. So I don't know. Let me know actually, what is the third one? Because I'm sure there is an answer. Because if the other two are Easter eggs, the third one has to be an Easter egg. Point being, Shaun of the Dead never actually reveals how the outbreak began, because it doesn't actually matter. It's not important. All that matters is they're in a zombie apocalypse, there is an outbreak, aim for the head, don't get bit. As I said, if it doesn't need to be specifically shown or told, you can keep it secretive. You can allude to it, you can give hints, you can go, yeah, it could be this, it could be that. But if it's not specifically important to the story that helps you progress, it's fine to keep it secretive. It's only when you take out crucial information that you need to progress that it becomes a problem. In that situation, you need that information, so that information should and definitely should be in the game. I said should twice, but that's the point. If it's crucial information, it needs to be in the game. Don't just cut it out because look at us theories! Unless it's actually pertinent to the story. You don't need to show off everything the threat can do. You don't need to reveal the origins of everything. You don't need to exposition dump the entire wiki page about the enemy, threat, or item the very first time you interact with it. Or, provided the actual answer isn't necessary to the conclusion of the game, give the player multiple contradictory statements for what it could be. What caused the event? Aliens, dark magic, lab experiment, act of God, random mutation, unforeseen reaction. It's a conspiracy by the powerful. Any one of these could be the honest answer to what happened. Leave the answer open-ended. The ending to The Evil Within leaves you with a question. The answer is, like, very, very, very much likely A. Like, it's answer A. It's like 95% chance answer A. But it leaves it just open enough to be like, could also be answer B. But it's so likely answer A. But I can see this argument, and it could be answer B. Once again though, if it doesn't need to be answered, it's fine to keep it a secret. Why is the main character the only person in the entire world that can use the Dark Relic? Who knows? The answer's not important. Alternatively, if the knowledge does affect the game absolutely should include it. Have any of you played the game Infamous Second Son? I absolutely love this game. I go back to it all the time, I keep doing reruns. It's just such a fun game. But imagine if the game had cut out the entire first section of the game. Imagine if the game skipped how Delsin got his powers. Imagine if the game skipped why Delsin was doing what he was doing. Imagine if the game skipped why the town looked the way it did. Sure, the game would still kind of work, and when you get your second ability, you kind of put it together that you can absorb powers, but it doesn't make that clear because it skipped the intro. So can other conduits also steal the powers of others? Like you're a fire one, can others steal your powers? Is that how it works? What about later on in the game when you re-encounter Hank? Oh, he's another fire conduit. But if you skip the intro, you don't know who Hank is. He's just another fire conduit. It's kind of important. But you have no reason to know why you're angry at him. You have no idea why you're chasing him. You have no idea why you have a vendetta against this specific person. Yeah, the game still works if you think about it and really put the pieces together. But it makes far more sense just to keep the opening, 20 minutes of the game in, as opposed to removing them for the sole reason of, ooh, mystery. So, let's look at the takeaway. I've already said it twice, but seriously, it is as simple as, if the game doesn't specifically need to show or tell you it, it's fine to keep it secretive. You can share if you want, but if not, okay. But if the game specifically needs you to know this information to progress, it needs to be included in the game. That's basically it. If you're willing to cut out pieces of your game just to try and chase that theory hype, it's kind of disrespectful to yourself. You're kind of just destroying your own work for clout or whatever. And if you're working with a team of game designers, it is disrespectful to them that you're doing this, and insulting, quite frankly, because a lot of them are working overtime. They spend extra time making that character model that's like, get rid of that character model because we want him to be mysterious. Oh, You spent weeks like coding this battle. Yeah, get rid of his powers because we want that to be secretive. Oh cool, you have this whole like awesome cinematic scene where like they talk about their feelings and reveal like important stuff to the story. Yeah, we want to keep that secret, so yeah, scrap that. Whatever, yeah, bye. But hey, for now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you want to see more of my content, you can obviously check out the channel or just hit the little eye in the corner to go watch the playlist of all the videos on horror. Until then, here's the credit of all the stuff I use in this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.